Good afternoon and welcome to another instalment from Vetro Tooling. Today I would like to go through our showroom washer. It is a Zafferani SV160 open top. I'd like to describe everything that it is good for, show you some of the things that I like that are different to some of the other edges out there on the market. Needless to say, let's go on. Right, so to start our demonstration, I'll just talk you through some of the parts on the machine. As you will be aware of, pretty similar to most washers. However, this is a lot more simpler to use and, well, let me show you. Okay, so what we have here is we have our hot and cold water tanks. Okay, so as most washers will have, we have your first off, we have a heating element in this side of the tank, which is also has a safety switch on it, so it will not be allowed to turn on until the tank is full of water. And as you may know, if you turn on that element when there's no water in the tank, you're going to lose your element. Okay, so I think that's a really nice feature to our machine. Okay, then what we have next is we have another tank for the rinse section. Okay, these both feed into two sets of brushes inside, which I will show you a little bit later on. Okay, now what I'd like to show you, which is the difference, well, first time I've ever seen this on a washer, okay, is this is fed constantly by cold fresh water. Okay, and what it does is in the middle here you have three sets of taps. Okay, the first tap, fresh water will continually fill up the tank. Okay, you will have overflows which will go out into your drainage. Okay, the second tap is for a set of foam brushes inside, which sort of take any small microfibers, any small bits of debris off the glass, which is constantly kept wet by fresh water. Then also, if you move on to the second tank, you also have a third tap, which is for filling up this tank too, which I like, so you can continually run your machine all day long knowing that the water in the tank will be topped up by its own means. Okay, if you pan around to the side here, we have our fan, which is for the drying section of the washer. Very big, very powerful fan, does the job that you need it to do. Okay, and if we follow us around to the front, I'll start talking you around the main part of the machine. Okay, so what we've got here, as you may know, you've got your in feed of the washer, and also you've got your out feed. Now these can be tailored to your need. So if, say for instance, your battery runs in the opposite direction, then on order, we can do that and we can change that around for you. Okay, now if you come over to the front of the machine, I will turn it on. Very, very simple. Not a lot of controls, as you can see. Basically, you have your light switch on the top, okay, which is for your light box section. Okay, then also you have your heating section. Now, as I mentioned before, if that ball cock valve on the other side there isn't up, then that heating element will not come on. Okay, now what I will show you is inside the cabinet, again, very easy to open. Now, as I was discussing with you earlier, we have the hot water brushes in this section. Okay, as you can see, it's self-contained, which I like, very, very good. Okay, then you have your cold rinse section, which is also contained with a set of brushes in. Now, these can be added and tailored to your needs again. Okay, just ask when we're quoting you for the machine. Now, here is the foam section that I said about before. If you pan around to the side here, you'll be able to see the two foams inside. Now, this is great for removing any small particles, any small minerals that might be left on the glass just before processing, toughening, sorry. Obviously, you don't want that to go in your toughening plant with some little tiny microscopic parts of metal. That will cause the glass to fracture and blow up in your plant. That's not good for anybody. Okay, now you have your last section, which is the air knife, or the air blade, no matter how you want to call it. As you can see, it is set at a 45-degree angle. This is set for the reason that it pushes the water to the final point in the left-hand corner of the glass so that you don't end up with drip marks all along the bottom edge. Okay, now what we'll do is I've got some glass set up on the in-feed and we'll run that through to show you how it comes out. Okay? So as I was explaining, we've got a couple of dirty pieces of glass on the in-feed of the washer. They're 6mm. In thickness. I'm going to put them through and let's see how clean they become out. Just so you can see, it is dirty glass that we're putting through there and not clean. As I mentioned, the length is up to 3 metres. As you can see down here, we've got a small little sensor, okay, which is controlled by a foot pedal. Obviously, as the glass comes out, you'll see when it hits the sensor, it stops. Now, for instance, if this glass was 3 metres in length, all you do is you'd have one of your colleagues standing at the end there, take the weight off the end, put your foot on the pedal, and the glass will continue. Okay? Now, most of you can see this is on the light box. Great addition to this machine. You can see one big dirty scratch through the centre. So we would reject that piece of glass. Also, if we look on this piece of glass, we have another dirty big scratch in the middle of there too. Okay, it is a 160 SV19. Now, the 160 stands for 1.6 metres in the height, and the 19 means you can process from 3mm to 19mm. Now, also, minimum piece size is 250mm by 50mm in the height. Maximum piece size, again, because this is an open top machine, you can spin the glass round. You could probably go 2 metres, 2.5 metres comfortably with flipping the glass over, and 3 metres in the length. Okay, so another good feature about this machine, which I like, you don't have to set the thickness. It's done by wheels that have got slots in to relieve as the glass goes through. I won't talk about it, I will just show you how it works. So in theory, okay, one thing I like about this machine, you've got a 6mm piece of glass, backed with a bit of 12mm piece of glass right behind it. Normally you would have to run all the 6mm through before you could run the 12, but on this machine, as long as you've got a 100mm gap between it, I could have a 6, a 12, a 10, a 4, and then a bit of 6 again if I really, really wanted to. Okay, so I won't just talk about it, I'll show you. Alright? So if you follow me, okay, so we've got the 6mm piece of glass going through first. Okay, and like I said, the small gap, about 100, 150, maybe 200mm, and then we've got a bit of 12mm behind that. As you can see, we're just passing the first hot water brushes. Okay, we're moving on to the second section, which is the rinse. You know what we have here? We have the middle section, rinse off all the extra bits of debris. Now, these wheels are what set the thickness on the glass. As you can see, we have release blocks inside. Okay, which allows you to be able to run multiple thicknesses at any given time. So as you can see, straight away the thickness is coming through. Just go to the white section now, it's on the way through. As you can see, 45-degree angle, push all the water into the water. There you go, straight away 9 inches to the 12. Also, as you may notice, the in and the out feed is mechanically driven, so you don't have to remove it, it will follow itself out. I'd like to thank you all for your time, for watching. Also, I'd like to point out, this machine is ready to go. We will be doing a one-off price for the machine in the showroom, but you need to inquire to find out. Okay, so for any more information or questions, please feel free to ask. Goodbye from me and goodbye from Vetro Tooling. Take care.